It doesn't matter how light it is or how nice it is or how good it is if it wears out and breaks. That is phenomenal for anybody that understands about what an LS-based engine looks like. You might ask, why does not my LS do the same exact thing? No, your LS can't. I got a family that I love. I got a family that loves me, and I get to build race car engines for a living. All right, last you saw, we were converting the front face dress of the SML to Rob Lymanstall's old LS engine. Happens to be a little bit of an issue with this one that we didn't plan on, but we do have his old original plate. You can see that all the water fittings are now through his existing motor plate. So this is going to drop directly into the car, but he is going to have to replumb things, and we do have his alternator mounted exactly where it was on his motor plate. But speaking of all this, let's go over and look at Jason Sachs, the Cowboy Up SML. And I'm going to show you a bunch of stuff about that and explain some things to you.
We're in the sixes, baby!
Alrighty, so you see, Jason Sachs, beautiful. The Cowboy Up Nova, that thing is exquisite, very, very nice, and is going to be astronomically fast. First full pass on the car. Record-setting pass for the car, 688, 200 and some odd mile an hour in a very soft-ish application, because I think it was only like right around 40 pounds boost. You can go back and look at that video. Because these will hold a lot more. So what I always want to do is, in my perfect world, people would do exactly this. Let's get the car sorted out. Let's get it going down the track. Let's make some passes. Hub dyno, get everything all sorted out. Then, before we go do a great big event like Sick Week, that's what this thing's going to, let's look at the engine. Let's tear it apart. Let's see. Maybe it's got to be a little massage here, a little massage there. Maybe things got to be adjusted. Let's see how things look. This thing is almost perfect. I'll show you what's not perfect in a minute. But let's go over the big major parts. Here's the block. Now, I want to show you something. This has not even been cleaned or wiped off. Major point. The major point of this whole deal here is this is 40 pounds of boost. All of the dyno testing. If you saw the dyno test video, all the problems, and we had a little wastegate, little blow off problems, all these issues and things that we're finding out that you have to find out before you go to the track, because you go to the track like that and you're never making a pass. Then we get to the track, make good initial passes with a torque converter that is so astronomically tight. It took 11 seconds on the two-step to come up. So you know that thing's just going look a lot like Cletus and his 300 foot long charge pipe on the old El Camino with the OG big block Chevrolet in it. So it's a lot like that. So really hard on parts doing all that. But I just want to tear it apart, take a look at things. I'm going to show you exactly what the stuff looks like. Now, the cylinder heads, we have ran the cylinder heads through the hot tank just to clean them up, but have not even touched or done anything with the deck surface. Like, literally have not done anything except just gotten the oil off of these. And then I wanted to go in and just lap the valves, just make sure the valve seats weren't moving, everything looked good. Looks mint. Now, we have not even, like I said, we have not touched or cleaned this. The block is even more evident. Have not touched, cleaned. This still has all the regular oil on it. Just took the gaskets off. One of the things, differences in between this and the regular LS. That's why we're replacing that LS with SML. No water through the deck surface. So there's no need to put, there's no need to even put sealer on the head gaskets. Now here is the head gaskets. Again, not even clean. This still has all the oil on it, right? They just come right off perfectly dry and clean, just like that. All right, so this is passenger side gasket. Now what I want you to look at, the big deal, no water going through the deck surface. Even though I probably don't even think it would matter, to tell you the truth, because check out, now this is 40 pounds of boost on an LS style engine, but our SML. I'm gonna show you the head bolt pattern again. Look at this. There's not even any discoloration in between the bores. This thing is sealed up tight and just beautiful. You can look at the block, the cylinder heads. It is really, really nice. Why, you might ask, why does not my LS do the same exact thing? No, your LS can't. Because the SML, I have revised the head bolt pattern. No other heads fit on SMLs except SMLs. No other blocks fit SML heads. It is the blocks and heads. They're my head bolt pattern. This is my deal. Fully water jacketed. So this is a drag and drive street car, whatever you want to use it for engine, okay? But here is the head bolt pattern. Bing, bing, half inch, half inch, half inch, half inch, half inch. Revised, moved inside, which results in, and even at 50, 60 pounds of boost, honestly, Lord willing, it's still gonna look like this. And that's where we're gonna be getting up to on Jason's car, and others. So that is phenomenal for anybody that understands about what an LS-based engine looks like. So the head bolt pattern, this whole deck surface, this is what makes me the happiest when I come into them and look at it, and I go, dang, that thing looks great. That thing's just awesome. Super happy about that. Lifter, the Valvetrain looked like $1,000,000. Everything looked great there. Pistons, rods, everything is looking great. You know, the piston looks great, not scuffed, tune-up's nice, everything's looking really good. Rings are holding in there nice. Rods, bearings just look fantastic. I mean, that's just excellent. That is just flat out excellent. Main bearings, look at those bad boys, just flat out excellent. Cannot beat that. That just looks just fantastic, great. All right, so really super happy about that. The Valvetrain, everything. Now we are going to be upgrading. This one was originally built with the Jessel rocker arms, Jessel steel rockers, which are a really nice rocker. Obviously, they're a Jessel deal. We are converting this over though to my Manton rocker arm. Let me show you that rocker arm here real quick. Alrighty, so this is the Manton rocker arm. Look at that bad little mother trucker. Now, it doesn't have the shaft in it. That's all right. This, so you can see here, differences in the rocker arm, different style, different design. And this is a bushed rocker arm, the same rocker arm as what my SMX is. If you want to see what my SMX rocker arms look like, this is my SMX rocker arm. This is my SML rocker arm. Where do you get rocker arms like these? From me. Point blank. More than happy to sell them to you if they'd fit. These will actually fit a LS7 style Valvetrain. So if you want these, just let me know. I will sell these SML style rocker arm shafts with a bush lifter. I'm sorry, with a bushed fulcrum point here, pressure fed. So the way these work, just like my SMX, is oil is pressure fed through the push rod, through a channel, feeds that bushing, and is pressure fed into there. Then it has a small squirt hole that goes out here to the pit, to the roller tip. Very nice, been proven out. Drag and drive, thousands of miles, thousands of pounds of spring pressure, lots of RPM. Gonna be very nice. So looking forward to all that. Yeah, you can see the Manton uses a much larger shaft than the Jessel. And the Jessels are a great piece. These things they're no problem. It's just we wanted to have something even a little bit better. Cup style push rod instead of a ball style push rod. Very good. We're going to be upgrading this thing to that. And now look at the crankshaft. I mean, obviously when the bearings are that nice, the crankshaft's that nice. There's obviously things like $1,000,000. Looks great. Now every SML is a Cleveland main. And we are going to be upgrading and going into a big block Chevrolet journal on the crank pin side also. So it adds more and more strength and just keeps the thing's just going to keep on getting better and better and better. All right. Roller bearing. All the SMLs are roller cam bearing. Helps us control oil through there. Much better setup. Just plain out works better. Remember, fully water jacketed. Everybody loves it when I say fully water jacketed. Now, to the one problem that I did find, I did not know was going to pop up and be a problem with this combination at this higher horsepower levels. And because we're going to go even more horsepower of these things, let me show you what's going on there. But first, it's Thanksgiving. I hope you guys are having a good Thanksgiving. I want you guys to all have a good Thanksgiving. And made me reflect just a little bit. So I'm going to tell you a little personal note here. You know that I just came back from working on my wife's Camaro down at KSR, down at Kevin Smith's. Because I understand how things go in the industry and I understand these cars, I understand engines, I understand that what we do is not easy. What we do takes time, and what we do, we usually overestimate and underperform. That is what we do. And that is no dig on Kevin whatsoever. But what was going on was I did notice I got back on Monday and I honestly, I felt a little overwhelmed. I do not normally feel overwhelmed. I have a lot of things that go on in my world, a lot of things on my plate, a lot of stuff, and have a lot of pressure. You know, I can walk into the shop here and I go, that thing's behind, that thing's behind, that thing's behind. And I was just getting a little, not really frustrated. I was just, I don't know if it was a little anxious or I'm not exactly sure what it was, but I just didn't feel good about things. And then I started feeling like, oh my gosh, I took a week off to go down and to try getting the Camaro all done, get that job all finished, and that's on my plate. My wagon's on the plate. Got to go to sick week. Got to help all these customers. I got to do this. Got to do that. Just started feeling really overwhelmed. And so Monday came in and was really feeling that way, and it was just kind of struggling. And but yesterday morning, so Tuesday morning, I came in and I'm listening to Tucker Carlson podcast, and had Willie Robertson on there, and all of a sudden it just kind of dawned on me. It's like, you know what? I've not said I'm thankful in about a week, and I'm feeling bad. So normally I'm a very thankful person. So whenever I pray, whenever I talk to, at meals or anybody ever talks to me or ever have that opportunity to pray, I always start out everything with thanks, because I am a thankful person. And I'm thankful for, all this stuff is all cool, and the engines and all these kind of things. That's all cool. But I got a family that I love. I got a family that loves me. And I get to build race car engines for a living and go racing and go run Le Mullets, go 2.4 hour Le Mullets, or all these amazing things, and have this opportunity to tell all of you guys that even I started feeling overwhelmed and really started to understand and realize that I need to be thankful every single day. Not for money, not for any of this stuff. It keeps everything in check, and understanding what we're here for, what we're placed here for, and to be thankful for all that we're given and given to do. And you know what? I started thinking about it. It's like, you know what? Stop your whining. I'm telling this to myself. I'm thinking, stop your whining, Steve. Just quit it. Your problems are you have too much work, too many things going on, too many issues here, there, whatever. Car's not done, blah, blah, blah. Quit your whining. Just be thankful. And that's what I am. I am thankful. I want you to be thankful. Everybody should be thankful for the things that you have. Even if things aren't perfect, things aren't great, things can get better. And who always realized, I wanted to share this with you too, is that what Thanksgiving is really all about. Thanksgiving's not about freaking turkeys. Thanksgiving's not about, honestly, it's not about the Indians. It's not about the Pilgrims. It's not about that stuff. It's about Abraham Lincoln in 1863 makes the proclamation of Thanksgiving and making Thanksgiving a national holiday. Let me read this thing to you. It's long. It's actually not long. It's only that long. But bear with me, all right? Because it's very interesting. So this is Abraham Lincoln, 1863, during the Civil War. Now, we got a lot of stuff going on right now. I'm not really talking about anything there, but it's very interesting how this works. I'm just talking about being thankful and what the whole premise of Thanksgiving even is. The year is drawing towards its close, has been filled with blessings and fruitful fields and healthful skies. To these bounties, which are so constantly enjoyed that we are prone to forget the source from which they come. Others have been added, which are of extraordinary in nature, that they cannot fail to penetrate and soften even the heart, which is habitually insensible to the ever watchful providence of the Almighty God. In the midst of a civil war of unequaled magnitude and severity, which has sometimes seemed to foreign states to invite and provoke their aggression, peace has persevered with all nations. Order has been maintained, the laws have been respected and obeyed, and harmony has prevailed everywhere except in the theater of military conflict, while that theater has been greatly contracted by the advancing armies and navies of the Union. Needful diversions of wealth and of strength from the fields of peaceful industry to the national defense have not arrested the plow, the shuttle of the ship. The axe has enlarged the borders of our settlements, and the mines, as well as the iron and coal of precious metals, have yielded even more abundantly than hitherto. Population has steadily increased, notwithstanding the waste that has been made in the camp and the siege of the battlefield and the country. Rejoicing in this consciousness of augmented strength and vigor is permitted to expect continuance of years with large increase of freedom. What does mainly that all mean? It means things have gotten bad, things are a little ugly, but start looking at all the good. It's always going on around us. No human counsel hath devised, nor have any mortal hand worked out these great things. All these good things that are happening, even when bad things go on. The gracious gifts of the Most High God, who while dealing with us in anger for our sins, have nevertheless remembered mercy. God's always merciful. It has seemed to me fit and proper that they should solemnly, reverently, and gratefully acknowledge us with one heart and one voice, the whole American people. I do therefore invite my fellow citizens in every part of the United States, and also those who are at sea and those who are sojourned in foreign lands, to set apart and observe the last Thursday of November as a day of thanksgiving and praise to our beneficent Father who dwelleth in the heavens. And I recommend to them that while offering up ascriptions justly due him for such similar deliverances and blessings, they do also with humble penance for our national perseverance and disobedience. Commend to his tender care all those who have become widows, orphans, mourners, and sufferers in the lamentable civil strife in which it unavoidably engaged, and fervently implore the interposition of the Almighty hand to heal the wounds of the nation and restore it as soon as may be consistent with the divine purposes and full enjoyment of peace, harmony, tranquility, and union. I know can be a little wordy, and people talk differently back then, and Abraham Lincoln was talking differently, but it's important. Remember, I'm thankful for all that we have, all that we do. Thankful for all of you guys. Thankful that I even have a YouTube channel, that people even care what I say or think or do. Appreciative of all that. Appreciative of all of you guys. Now, back to what we found was the problem in the SML that we are addressing immediately. All right, so we're looking at pistons and the rod, and I'm going, yeah, man, oh my gosh, look at these pistons. Look, everything just looks great. And I just go check it, and I go, oh, crap. Now, this is not collapsed. The rings are good. No signs of detonation. The tune-up looks spot on the money. Everything is really good. But holy crap, the every one of them has basically knocked the piston pin bores out of the piston and connecting rod. So what's that from? Since it's not a tune-up issue, if it's a tune-up issue, you would see hurt bearings, you'd see collapsed skirts, something else would happen in the piston. Ring lands, I mean, you can see this thing is, they're just beautiful. I mean, everything, I looking at it, it looked like $1,000,000 until I actually felt it and measured it. And you can see this piston pin here. Not supposed to do that. There's usually about 1/1000 clearance in a piston pin, thousandths and a half. That has probably got like about 10. So this thing was not due to blow up at any point in time, but it was probably, you start hearing something. And you start hearing a little bit of knock, and you start going, wonder what that is. Because it wasn't making any material, wasn't doing anything. Everything's looking great. What this turns out to be is I wanted to do this piston in what's called the forged side relief. Now this forged side relief piston makes a nice, really strong piston. This whole area is nice in here. Compact bridges. I mean, it's got bridges here, you know, so there's a lot of support. It is a very nice piece. And I go, yeah, sweet, man. You get this nice little short, compact piston pin, really thick wall, but still lightweight or lighter weight. And it's my fault, actually. And so I said, that would be great. Well, it turns out that what the problem is, this doesn't have enough bearing load capacity. There's not enough surface area in that piston to support all the power that this makes. So it gradually just keeps on pushing, pushing, pushing in a correct tune-up. Everything's correct. I mean, this is just beautiful. It's not enough piston pin engagement in the piston in order to stop it from beating itself to death. Point blank. So I call up my buddy Mike at Diamond Pistons. I say, hey, this is what's going on. And he goes, oh, did we do that in a forged side relief? I said, yeah. He goes, yeah, we're going to need to go back to a full bore piston and get more piston pin in it in order to take the load, take the horsepower load. So they were going to get away from the slipper skirt. This, I call it slipper skirt, it's the wrong terminology. We get away from this forged side relief piston right here, go to a full bore piston and a full size 990 pin. So I'm going to up the pin diameter, and it's going to make everything heavier. Point blank. It's going to make everything heavier, but it doesn't matter how light it is or how nice it is or how good it is if it wears out and breaks. Sometimes you just have to put material and stuff to make it strong enough to last and be good. So I'm changing the pistons. We have a set of pistons being expedited. Diamond's taking care of that real quick. Going to this larger pin diameter for 990 versus 927. So bigger pin, heavier pin, more surface area. The pin will be, you know, full width here with pin buttons. So the pin is gonna, this is a 220 or 2250 pin. The new pins will probably be 2750. So half-inch longer pin, larger diameter, more surface area to keep these things alive. So something that I just learned. I really thought this was going to be a better way, but it cannot handle the load of really big horsepower stuff. So since this was a design problem on mine, it's not, Diamond did exactly what I told them to do. It's not their problem. It wouldn't matter if it was. But since it's my issue, then obviously Jason's getting the new updated piston and rod selection. So we're going to be putting this thing all back together. Hopefully the end of next week. We're supposed to have the pistons, the new pistons here. Also had to get new rods because when the piston pin and the starts getting all wobbly in the piston, it then takes out the connecting rod. And these rods are actually really nice. These ones happen to be R&Rs. Wouldn't be advisable. I probably could do it, but I'm not going to make this a 990 bore and reuse the rods, but I don't think that's a viable thing to do. I think I'm gonna reuse these whole rods and pistons and somebody's stuff because they're really nice if anybody wants it. And I'll just get oversized piston pins, like a 10,000ths oversized piston pin, hone the pin, bores, and then it's like brand new again. And then keep this in like a 2500 horsepower and below. application and they'll work out great. I think that's it for today. Remember, it's Thanksgiving. Be appreciative of whatever you have, whatever family you got. There is always good in everything that's there. There's good. Just look for it. Have a great day.